Isa, come, Snickington. Come here, my relatives. Welcome to Game Shamus. Today we have on my friend Ash. Hi, Ash. How are you?
Hello! Ooh, let me get my headphones on. Goodness gracious.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast, Ash.
Thanks so much for having me.
We were trying to schedule this when to do the podcast for a little while, but then you got COVID, and that's stupid. How are you?
I yes, I did. That was pretty rough. But finally recovering. I had a rebound case actually, so recovering from the second bout of COVID and feeling pretty good.
Oh, well, I don't like that you got COVID. That's stupid.
It is, but all good now. How are you, friend?
I'm excited. Thank you for asking. I haven't done podcasts for a while, so you're like my first time in about a year or so coming back into this. I'm just really excited. I got out of bed this morning. I ate oatmeal like I do every single day of my existence, and I'm just doing pretty solid. You have a channel with no videos as of this recording, and you have hundreds of subscribers. I really like the syllabus. I think that's pretty cool, and I think a lot of people grab onto that. But yeah, no videos, and yet that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. So I can just kind of introduce who I am a little bit. Hello, friends. My name is Ash. I am the technician on the channel GTLIVE, which is basically Matt Pat's gaming channel on YouTube. It has just shy of 3 million subscribers, and I also help with filming videos for the main theory channels, such as film theory, food theory, and if it's needed, game theory. Um, but yeah, like Game Shamus said, I made a playlist called The Syllabus for one of the GT Live episodes that we did, just of like a bunch of YouTube videos that I think everyone should see, hence the name The Syllabus, because you have to. And I put it in the description of a GT Live episode, and despite not making any videos, it got like hundreds and hundreds of subs, and I did not anticipate that happening. But yes, after I got on GT Live, I made a public Twitter just to keep a bunch of folks in the loop about what's happening with GT Live, and then it kind of evolved into me just saying random things and putting them out and interacting with a bunch of awesome people in the Theorist fan base. And yeah, it's been a really wild transition, like you mentioned. But it's also been really exciting. And now I'm here and able to talk to you, which is equally as exciting.
Aw, spaghetti. Well, that's really sweet of you to say. I really appreciate that.
Mm.
Thank you. So I can't imagine what it must have been like working and then getting on to game theory while you've been in school, while you've had all these things going on. I mean, I've just been working on earning my master's degree and not even just working in general, just because it would have been too much doing it full time. And that you saw you do this in college and also working, and now you're in game theory. And how did all that come about? And how do you manage that?
Mhm. Oh man, I love telling this story. I do also want to say, I do also want to say, by the way, congrats on doing the master's degree. I just want to put that out there. Like, with how wild everything is.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
totally. Um, but yes, this story. I look at the beginning of this year, it sounds so cliche and corny, but if you told me that this is where I was going to be, oh my goodness, like, no way would I have believed you. I was in a corporate internship. I was working 3 to 4 jobs at once at a
Oh
time,
my
finishing up
God.
Yeah,
Why?
man. Like it was
No.
it was whack. Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I can't imagine
That's
that.
that's where we were at. I
How?
was, you know, that is a fantastic question. I have no idea how I did it. Um, but I was wrapping up my senior year of college. It was my last semester, and I didn't get a lot of financial aid from school. Um, and, there wasn't a lot of financial assistance that I got generally. So I was very committed to making myself money and getting experience going into this job market amidst, you know, Miss Rona and the recession and all that jazz. So, oh no. Um, but yeah, so I talked to one of my professors. I studied media production and journalism at UNC. Um, and I was like, hey, professor, if I stay in corporate and if I stay working like 2 to 4 jobs at a time, I think I'm going to rip my hair out. I don't think this is sustainable for me. And I just want something more creatively fulfilling. And he says, oh, okay. Well, I recently heard of this opening. I talked to someone at this little media company that I think you would really like. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he describes it, the responsibilities, and he says it's called Theorist and it's local. And I was like, oh, wow, cool.
What?
Yeah,
What?
and I didn't know that it was Matt, right? I was just like, oh, like a media production company. Cool. Um,
No. No way.
and then I looked it up
No way.
online because it's like I should probably research where I'm going to apply because I want to get a better sense of like what I'm going into, right? So if you look up Theorist Media, you get taken to a website where the hero image is like Matthew Patrick giving like a PowerPoint presentation. I was like, what? So I'm like pacing around my room at this point. I call my partner and I'm like,
Oh, so you already knew what game theory was.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I was gobsmacked. Like, I was watching game theorist videos when I was like 13, 14, right?
Yeah.
And, like, of course I knew who MatPat was. I was really big in like the YouTube gaming community growing up. Like a big, I watched everyone basically. So I'm on the phone with my partner and I was like, my professor gave me a lead for this job and it's MatPat. Like he gave me like an opening for MatPat. I'm losing my mind because this is on his wiki, so I feel comfortable talking about this. Mirror Matt also went to UNC and was really close with this professor who I was really close with.
Same
So
college?
correct.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So
Oh man, that's a pretty small world.
yeah. But he talked to Mirror Matt because they were close when he was an undergrad. and yeah, so my professor put me in contact with Stephanie. We had one interview. It went really great. I loved talking to the team members. And then there was a second interview where, I met Matt, and the rest is history, really.